Alright, so this morning we are going to be preparing vegetable soup. So I'll be showing the ingredients I'm using for my vegetable soup, and I'll explain how I came about all of them. So for every man, you can actually prepare vegetable soup by following my own recipe. Alright, so for my vegetable soup this morning, I have water leaf, I have ugu leaf. Now your ugu should be either ×2 or ×3 of the quantity of the water leaf. So you can see the quantity of ugu I'm using and the quantity of water leaf. So it's almost like ×2.5. So it depends on you, it's a choice, you decide what you want to do. I have my red oil, I have my smoked fish, I have my onion, I have pepper. The quantity of pepper depends on the quantity of leaf that you have, and also if you love pepper so much. For me, I don't love too much pepper, so I'm doing this. I'm preparing for a family of 5 with 2 visitors also, because they're going to test to see how well I did in my preparation. Then also I have my seasoning. Since I've not paid for any adverts, I'm not giving the name, but it's just it's a seasoning I'm going to use to prepare. Then I have my beef, cow meat. And then I have my pomo. It's been diced. I diced them in the market because I don't have all this time to do that myself. So I just told them how I want it diced, small bits. Then I have popularly call it in Nigeria isam, but the English word is periwinkle. Then this is crayfish. I grinded it also in the market when I bought it, so it gives me easy work to do. Now, my first step, I'm going to boil my meat together with my oporoko. I'm going to be adding my pomo and my crayfish to it. Because beef has water, you will not boil your beef with water. I have to simmer first without water. I'm also going to show that process very soon once I start. Just follow me as we go ahead. Alright, it's time to boil our meat. Now I've washed the meat, I've put it on fire. I didn't add water because the meat had water, both from the washing and also beef usually contain much water, so don't add any water yet. I'm going to add my oporoko. This is my oporoko. I'm also going to add my diced skin, that's pomo. I'm adding my diced skin, this pomo. Then I'm adding my crayfish. This is my crayfish. Add it. That's my crayfish. And then I'm putting my onion. This is my onion. The onion. I'm putting the onion, so it depends on the quantity you love. Putting the onion. This is my onion. Let's put it. Then I'll allow it to simmer a little. It's simmering. Ensure you monitor. Since you didn't add water, you don't want it to burn from under, so you can turn when you simmer so it doesn't burn. So I just allow it for some few minutes. Let it simmer very well. I'll be back. We'll continue.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to use the grinder. It's a manual grinder. I'm going to do it how we do it in the village those days. I'm going to grind the pepper manually. This is what we use in grinding. This is the grinding stone and this is the grinder. So we just put it. Helps when you don't have your automatic grinder at home or the manual hand grinder. Once you have your grinding stone, you can use your grinding stone And another advantage is it doesn't make your pepper too smooth. Some people doesn't like very smooth pepper. You know, we would have used grinded pepper. So we are doing this one. You will be seeing your pepper when you're eating, which is also very good. Seeing the red, it gives color to your food. Alright, so our meat is still simmering. You can see there's enough water. We didn't add water, just water from washing of the meat and also water that is contained in the beef itself. So that's what we are having here. So you keep stirring, so you don't want it to burn from under. You just stir. Remember, I didn't add salt to this. You don't want your soup to be too salty. And remember, we already put in our seasoning. So by the time you are cooking, you can test to be sure if you have enough quantity of salt, because the seasoning contains salt. This oporoko also contains salt, so you don't want your soup to be too salty. That's why I didn't put salt as I'm boiling this meat. So you can test later. If you need to add salt, you can then add salt, but for now don't put salt, just boil. So let's still leave it. We'll still cover it a little, let it still boil more until our meat is chewable. So you can test your meat to be sure it is chewable, and by then also your stock fish, which is the oporoko, would have been soft enough also to be chewed. Alright, so our meat is ready, and I think every other thing inside is soft now. So what we'll do now, we'll transfer everything in this pot to a fresh pot, because we're going to use this pot to cook the soup. So I'm going to transfer everything here. Why am I transferring? I want to also pick out all the small bones from the pot, because I don't want my soup to have those small bones from the stock fish. So I'm going to transfer everything out. So I've removed everything in the pot and the bone. So I put my pot back on fire. I add the quantity of red oil I need. This is always my fear, not to put excess red oil. So this is the quantity I need. And then it's time for me to add I'm still adding another onion. I'm adding my onion. I'm adding pepper. This is my pepper. Adding my periwinkle. This is my periwinkle. Adding my periwinkle. Now for some people like removing those black parts of their periwinkle, but it's a choice. I actually wanted to remove mine, but I don't have the whole time. It's stressful removing it, so that's why I remove. Then at this point you can introduce your smoked fish if you want to add smoked fish. So me, I'm adding smoked fish, so I introduce my smoked fish. Put in my smoked fish. Now I'm going to allow this to simmer for like 3 to 5 minutes, because I don't want my oil tasting like wax. So I'm going to allow my oil to simmer for like 5 minutes. Oil has its own taste, so once you allow it to cook for like 5 minutes, the taste will come out properly. So I'm going to cover my pot and allow it to cook for 5 minutes. Our oil has simmered for about 5 minutes, so it's time to add our vegetable. So this is my ugu. I'm adding the ugu into it. My ugu looks as though it's plenty for this. I hope it's not too much for the quantity of water leaf. This is my water leaf. I'm adding it. So I'm going to stir. Now you don't want your vegetable cooking for too long, because you want to still enjoy the vitamins that the vegetable provides. So you don't want it to cook for too long. So it's time for me to add my meat and every other thing that I boiled before. So I've added them. Then you stir. So you can allow this to boil for 2 to 3 minutes, and then your food will be ready. Now at this point, you can also test your soup to see if you need salt. Is at this point you check if you need salt, because of the oporoko that you used and also the seasoning, you might not need salt. But if you test and you see that you need salt, then you can add a little salt. So I'm going to test and see if I need salt. Okay, I think I need to add a little salt. So I'm going to get salt and add. I'm adding a small quantity of salt, just little. Then I stir it. So you can cover it for 2 minutes. So let's cover for all right. So the vegetable has boiled for at least 3 minutes. So our soup is ready. Remember, this is more like how Edikaikong is prepared. So I call it my own vegetable soup. So every man, you can try it. Just follow my recipe, follow my method, and you also get my results. The soup is looking very attractive, very yummy. Let me test it. It's so good. Came out very well. I'm sure my wife will be so proud of me. My children will be so excited. For the first time, their daddy is preparing soup at home. They are going to love it. So you can serve this with any of the swallow. You can serve with apple. You can do eba. You can do tuwo. Just any swallow at all. For keto people, you know how you prepare your own swallow. You can use this. It's also good for keto people. Just try it. Lovely. Awesome.